Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Pepcoding, and today we are going to discuss the question print permutations. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to go through the question itself and then we are going to write a recursive logic to find the solutions. Okay, so let me explain the question on the board. So what we have been given in the question is that we have been given a string, for example ABC. This string will receive through input. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to print all the permutations for ABC. So what will be the permutations for ABC? Permutations would be ABC, ACB, BAC, BCA, CAB, and finally CBA. So for a string of length 3, we'll have factorial 3 permutations. So for a string of length n, we'll have factorial n permutations. So what we have been given the task to print all these factorial and permutations. So at first glance, it looks a bit tough, but trust me, it is very easy to write, and the logic behind it is very simple. So if you stay with me, you will quickly understand how to write a code for this. So let us just start with a simple example. We'll take ABC. Okay. So as we can clearly see, we have three characters here: A, B, and C. So to form all the permutations, what we are going to do is we are going to iterate through each character one by one. So we have option of A first, then B, and then C. So before proceeding further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to maintain two things, or I'm going to declare two variables in our code, that is first for question and second for answer. To simplify this will contain all the strings. This will contain the string which we have to form permutations of. For example, for initially our the question will contain the string which is given to us through the input, and initially the answer would be empty. As we proceed further, this question will get updated as for the continuous recursive calls, and this answer would get updated as we proceed further, and the final stage where when we reach the base case, we'll print the answer and we'll get the required permutation. So for different recursive call, we'll have different answer, and if we print all the answer, we'll get the solution. So that is what we are going to do. So the first things first, we'll choose A. So what, after choosing A, what we'll do, we'll just add A to our string, which is answer. So initially the answer is blank, so we'll take answer as blank. So we'll add A to blank, so get, if we add any character to the blank, we'll get the character itself, so we'll get A. This is the form string. Okay, so what we will be left with, so we have already chosen A, so what are the remaining characters? B and C. So with the remaining string would be BC. Similarly for this one, if we chose B, the answer would become B. Okay, and the remaining string would be AC. If we chose C, we'll get C in the answer and the remaining string would be AB. Now, as explained earlier, the question will get updated in every recursive call. What is happening here? Our new question is the string which is written above. So this is the new question. This is our new answer. So we'll update this in every recursive call. Okay. So now if we see here we had options of three characters, but here we have option of only two characters. So we have B and C. Now as we did earlier, we're going to add this character to the answer. So our new answer is A. So if we add B to A, we'll get AB. So in the answer we'll have AB. Now we will be left with only C. Similarly, if we add C, we'll get AC and we'll left with B. So as you can clearly see here, we have only one character left. So we have nothing, no other options but to add this character to the end. So we'll have ABC and here we have ACB. Now since we have chosen all the characters, so what we are left with, we are left with nothing. So we will just get an empty string here. And this is where we'll use our base case. This is where we'll print the answer so far and we'll return. So for this one, I will write this so it will become more clear what we are trying to do. So we'll have options of A and C. This is our question. So if we add A to B, we'll have BA and we'll be left with C. Here same thing. We will add C, so we'll be left with A. Now as explained earlier, we'll have options of only one character. So we'll add this to the end. We'll get BAC and we'll have empty string. Here we'll get BCA and we'll have empty string. Now quickly for this one, we have AB, so we'll add A to C, we'll get CA, we'll left with B. Here we'll add B to C, we'll get CB, and we'll left with A. And the last one, we'll have only options of one, so we'll add this to the end. We'll get CAB, we'll have empty string, we'll get CBA, and we'll have empty string. And these six are the required permutations. So this is the logic that we are going to use in our code, and this is nothing but recursion on the way up. Recursion on the way up. So why? Because we are doing recursive calls as we move upwards and we are getting the answer. So recursion on the way up. So I hope I was being clear. Okay. Now before explaining the next thing that we'll do, I will just write the code of the part that we discussed until now. So first thing, I'm going to take an input. To do that, I'm going to declare the scanner. Now I'm going to take string input str, and the last thing that this main method will contain is the recursive call. Now as I discussed earlier, the initial answer or the answer so far, this is the answer so far, this will contain the answer. The initial answer so far would be empty, so we'll just leave it like this. Now we'll iterate through the string and choose the characters one by one. So I plus plus, and to do that we are going to store the characters in a variable. So we'll have ch caret I. So we have stored the character. Now the next thing, you have to visualize this clearly. So as we were doing earlier, we were choosing one of the characters, adding this to the answer, and we were using the remaining string in the next recursive call. So for example, for a bigger string like a b c d e, what if for some recursive call we are choosing this character and we want the remaining string that is abde? So how would we get this abde? So first I will want you to think how we got this character. We simply did a str.caret. For this one specifically we had to. So to get this, you can clearly see that we have two substrings. These are nothing but substrings of this whole string. So this is substring to the left and this is substring to the right. Left and right of what? Left and right to the chosen character. Okay, so we'll have two substrings, left substring and right substrings. This is not essential that we'll always have left or right substring. We'll just declare it, and if there isn't anything on the left or to the right, we'll just leave it empty. For example, for this string only, if we are on the step of choosing a, so we'll have no substring to the left. Okay, so we'll have two substrings left and right. So for the left substring we have to get ab. So how we'll do that? We'll just use substring function and we'll write the end index as 2 itself, because as we know this 2 is exclusive, that is it won't contain the string at this index. So it would contain the string with character which is before this index, so it would be 1, so it will give us AB. This would give us AB. And for this one, we don't need to provide the end index, so this will just be written as the index which is after 2, that is 3, and we'll just end here. We don't need to provide the end index because we are moving till the end of the string, and substring function will by default, if we don't provide an end index, it will take the substring until the end. Okay, so this is start index, so this would give us, so the third character is not third character, the character at index 3 is D, so we'll get DE as the right substring. So what we are left to is all right, add these two, so we'll have ABD. So generalizing, we have to get substrings like this. For a character at I, we'll just write here the index is I, and for the right substring, we'll just write I plus 1. Okay, I hope I was being clear. There is no rocket science in this. It is pretty simple to understand. So I'm going to maintain a left substring. Okay. So this would be 0 comma I. Now I'm going to maintain a right substring. This would be I plus 1. Now to get the remaining substring, I'll add these two. And I'll make a recursive call for the remaining substring, and I will add the choosing character to the answer. This would be clear on the dry run that I did earlier. So and the final thing that we are going to do is we are going to write the base case for the recursion. So what was the base case? As I discussed earlier, we'll return after printing the answer when the string becomes string, that is the question, becomes empty. So str dot length would become 0, and if this happens, we'll just first of all print the answer so far, and we'll return from here. This will also handle the cases where we have been given as an empty string in the question itself. So now I'm going to run this and check if our code is correct. So gotten all the permutations of the string ABC. Now I'll check if it runs for all the strings. As you can see, all the test cases have been passed, so our answer is correct, and that's it. So I hope I was being clear, and if you like the video, please like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.